just reminded me of a good analogy about the fear of the Lord and relating to boldness, like the story of Saul, King Saul, and King David. And Saul was he was the first king of Israel, and he was chosen to be king by the Lord, but he kind of messed up. He like God told him to do something, and then he kind of did halfway and messed up the rest, and he gave excuses like, well, the people told me to do this, and and I feared the people. I need to please the people. They wouldn't follow me if I didn't do this and whatnot. And he was just basically spitting in the face of God that I respect these guys more than you. I fear these guys more than you. And God was not very happy with him. He through his prophet Samuel, he said that, I'm just going to take this kingdom away from you, which I gave to you. It's mine. So I'll not give it to you anymore. I can't trust you. You're just pleasing people. You're not doing my will. I'll take it away. And he decided to give it to David. But David, on the other hand, he was like, there was this Goliath guy who was like a big warrior. I think everyone knows the story, but I still refer to it for the people who don't. Enemy soldier who challenged people to a duel. Like anyone who could beat him in a duel, then they would the enemy kingdom would serve the winner kingdom. But if the other person lost the duel, they would have to forfeit the battle. So everyone was like just super afraid. They were hiding in their hidey holes and like like super scared of this big guy. And then comes this little boy, David, and he's like, what's this guy like? Why is he here? Like children ask interesting questions. David was a young boy at the time, I think, but still, he was like, what's this guy? This guy doesn't belong here. Like he's like blaspheming God, and he's speaking bad stuff about you. Like, aren't you better than this? Like, and what's the profit for people who kill this guy? He was like,
what does my phone say?
And then basically he was promised a lot of money and stuff for killing this guy, and then he went to Goliath, and Goliath was like, oh, they sent me a little boy with some stick. Am I something like a dog or something that you're gonna with your little stick hit me? Like, no. but and Elaine got it just right in the comments that David was just like, you uncircumcised Philistine, you don't have a covenant. You're just a loser. Like, God is with me. Who's with you? Nobody. And like, my God is bigger than your God. Like, my dad is better than your dad. Whatever.
Better than your dad.
And then I always imagine, like, Goliath standing here and David standing here, but God standing here. And when David flings his weapon against Goliath, it's like God obliterating him, and like, it was not a fair fight.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. but it was God's plan, of course, also.
But David respected the Lord more than Goliath.
Amen.
But other Israeli people respected Goliath more than the Lord. They didn't like anyone who would see, like, would understand that this guy is bigger than this guy, like speaking about God and Goliath, would understand that, maybe I should be afraid of this guy and not this guy. But thing is, this guy is invisible and this guy is very visible and in your face. So you have to be moved by faith to understand that.
Amen.
But David was very bold.
Know your authority. Know who you are standing with you. It also helps you a lot about your confidence in everything.